fabulous viewers. You are the reason I love doing this television show. And one of our segments, Back in the Game, was one of our most popular. You were with me every step of my journey with online dating, going through a divorce, re-entering the dating world. You were there for everything. And what really helped me cope through everything was your support, your emails, knowing that we were in this together. The point of being back in the game is to eventually get out of the game, find your person. And I found my person, so I'm going to be out of the game, but I'm not going to completely abandon you. I'm going to answer your questions tonight as my last segment of Back in the Game for Out of the Game with the fabulous Valerie, who is my assistant in everything in the world. You are my key person on the television show, booking our guests, and you have been with me every step of the way. So what better person to ask the questions that the viewers sent in?
Yes, we have been together through this whole experience.
We have been together, and it's been an experience.
Yes,
and it's
a
still
wonderful
experience.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to have you ask some of our viewer questions, and how exciting that you picked and selected the best of the best questions. There were so many. I'm sure it was hard for you to narrow these down, but you tried to do a variety of questions, and I'm game to answer them all.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready? Let's get started.
I'm so ready.
Okay. All right. So our first one is from Melvin Rollins. It says, Debra, I have followed your dating life extensively for 18 months and would have stalked you in a fun way if I could have. So what was the final moment that made you select the gentleman that you are currently dating?
So I'm going to say the stalking might make me a little fearful, but that's okay. You said in a fun way, right?
In a fun way.
Okay.
In a fun way, yes.
So I think there's not a moment that I selected John. I think there were many moments. I dated for 18 months, and it was fun and adventurous, and met some really great guys, as you know, some amazing guys. John was just different. I felt very comfortable with him on date number 1. It evolved into a great friendship. I was super attracted to him, which I think is very important. But also we had a lot of commonalities. We had a lot of things in common. Family. He was religious. He, liked adventure. He was very positive. He is very positive. He loves to travel. I love to travel. So there's so many things that brought us together. But I think there was not one moment. There were many moments. And I think that all of those moments really led me to believe that he, was my person, and that we would have a great adventure in life together. So in answer to the question, not one moment, many moments. I knew there was something special about him, but there was something special about many people out there.
Right.
But it's if you can work together and you have fun together and you see a future together and you really want to take life on this adventure. Do you agree?
Well, I'll have to say that I saw you go on several first dates, and you were so excited the first time that you went out with John. And so for me, I think that would be a good indicator, is that you just get those butterflies. And I knew you had the butterflies because you were just so excited after that date. You were giddy like a schoolgirl.
Right.
Yes.
And you were with me when I was dating one guy for 6 months
Right,
and one guy for 5 months, and I didn't have those butterflies.
Right, exactly.
But in date number 1, you're exactly right.
Right, you were excited.
You're exactly. So great question.
So the next one is from Kimberly Jonas. Debra, dating is the biggest challenge of my existence, which I know a lot of women feel that way. You seem to have figured it out. How do you get to that point? Please help.
So I haven't figured anything out. I love that's a great question, because you figure it out as you go. The one thing I do think that was on my side was I was confident in that whatever happened. There was no moment that really I thought I would meet anyone. I thought I would just really have fun. And my expectations were high in what I wanted in a person. I wasn't going to settle. because life is way too short. And I think that you just have to not give up. I think there are lots of times that you have moments and you have dates and you have relationships, and you have to go in that moment because you just really don't know what's going to happen. So I don't think I figured out anything. I just think I was positive. I went with the system. My expectations were high. However, I wasn't willing to settle for a relationship that I wasn't completely into or knew that, we worked together. So I think, there's the 80-20 rule. Everyone's not perfect, but you have to hit 80% of the checks for me. And so for that person, I would say, keep trying.
Right.
I have not figured it out. You haven't figured it out, but you'll meet the person and then you'll figure it out together.
Right. And that's something that when I read the question, that is what came to my mind immediately. And you said it 2 or 3 times, is
Right.
that you did not settle. And so it's really not about figuring it out. It's
Right.
about just not settling for what doesn't make you happy.
Right, exactly.
Yes. Yeah. All right. The next one is from Cindy Evans. Debra, what is your biggest challenge in your current relationship?
So that's a great question, Cindy. I think that is a great question. There's always challenges. There's not just one challenge. There's many challenges. I would say we have a distance challenge where he lives in a city that's an hour and 45 minutes away, and I live in Charlotte. We both have super active lifestyles, so it works for us at the moment. The challenge is also the same challenge with the distance. Like if there's a party that I want him to attend with me or something, spur of the moment, he's not going to be available because he lives in a different city. Those are challenges that aren't really challenges, though. So I would say, when you hit big challenges in life is when, you decide how to really dig in and make it work. We've had a few big challenges, and we have had an open line of communication. I think that's the most important thing with challenges, is talking it out and not judging each other and feeling very safe. I think it's very important in a relationship that you feel very safe. Like I can share my views, my concerns. He can share his views, his concerns, and we both feel safe with each other. So I would say those challenges sometimes can be opportunities, and you just have to communicate. But great question, Cindy.
And then the second part of her question is, has your family accepted your new love?
So I think at this age in our lives, we don't have small children. We have grandchildren. He has 10 grandchildren. I have 3 granddaughters.
Wow, those are big families.
Those are big families,
Yes.
yes. However, we don't have small children. So I think both sides of our family just wants us to be happy. My kids, they're always about, if you're happy, we're happy. Of course, they want my relationship person to treat me great, put me on a pedestal, make me happy, complete me. As long as all of those things come into place, they're happy. And the same with his family. They want him to be happy. So I think we're at a good point in our life where we don't have small children and all of those things that pull you apart. So, that's a fair question, but really for us, we're at different points in our lives. And so we don't have all of that baggage.
Right.
Different kinds of baggage.
Right.
Just not small children baggage. So they have accepted him as part of my life.
Good. Good. All right, so the next question is from Leedy Reed, and it sort of coincides with this. So, Debra, do you still have a good relationship with your ex-husband?
What great questions.
Yes,
you just
I know.
selected
These
the
are
best
amazing
questions. These
questions,
are amazing
yes.
and real life questions. I would say I do have a good relationship with my ex. We have 2 great children together and 3 grandchildren together. We really are great at holidays and special occasions that we can get together and be very amicable. I think with any relationship challenges or any separation, divorce, there's always one party that's a little more bitter than the other party. And I don't think we have that. I think we're happy for each other. Are there challenges at times? Absolutely. But I choose to remember the good times and think we had 2 great children together.
Right.
2
So
great
important.
children together.
Yes.
And at one time, we had a great marriage. So I choose to remember those moments, and he's happy that I've moved on. And so for that, I'm grateful. So we have a very amicable relationship. Not great, but amicable. So that's a great, that's the best I can do.
Right, exactly. That's all you can
most
hope
couples.
for.
Right.
Yes. So the next one is from Jack Phillips, and it says, Deborah, would you ever consider having an open relationship with your boyfriend?
Of course, it's from a guy.
Yes,
Jack.
absolutely.
Jack.
Absolutely.
I guess you also want to know about a threesome. It's a guy thing.
I knew this one was from a guy when I read it. But
Open
yes.
relationship.
Okay.
So the short answer to that would be never. I'm not an open relationship kind of girl. However, there are people out there, and if that's their journey, then that's their journey, not my journey. I'm not an only child, but I feel like I'm an only child, so I don't share well. So no, I absolutely would not be able to share in anything with a relationship. I think it's sacred. I think it's very intimate. I think it's between two people. And so the short answer would be absolutely never. Ever. What about you? Throw that back to you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I am an only child. So I totally get that, what you're
Right.
where you're coming from. No,
Right.
absolutely not. I think I'm a little too jealous. I would be just super jealous.
Right,
So
exactly.
absolutely not.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we're both on the same
Yes,
page there.
yes.
Absolutely not. Good question though, Jack, and good try.
Yes.
Jack's not the stalker, right?
No.
Okay.
That was the first one. That was the first one. All right. So the next one is from Jessica Brown. And she says, Deborah, what is your love language? That's a good question.
That is a great question. So my love language is definitely random acts of kindness. So I love when he does something really special and remembers. Like he came into town this weekend, and I like these like beef sticks called chomps. And he had gone to Costco and purchased some things for his house. And he bought me 2 bags of chomps. One that was so sweet,
Aw, that is so sweet.
so sweet and so thoughtful, because that's a wonderful act of kindness that he remembered what I liked, and it's not a big extravagant gift, it's a thoughtful gift. So I love that, and I do love the touch. Like I love to hold hands, and I love to cuddle, and I love the Philly touchy PDA stuff. And he not so much. So we're working on that because I love it. He's not a big PDA person. So we're finding commonality with that. So I have 2 love languages. So definitely acts of kindness are my number one.
And then the second part of her question, and we kind of had some conversation off camera about this because I had never heard of this.
Right.
But she asked, what is your attachment style?
So I feel like I have 2 attachment styles. I'm definitely secure. So I feel in a relationship, like if you're secure, you're not really concerned about the relationship, that that it's going to work, and you think the best. But then if your partner is a different style, whether they're anxious or abandonment, or they don't confront the issues, they kind of run away from the issues, then that brings out a different side. So I would say secure for sure, but I can have anxious tendencies. So oftentimes I can have, because it's a trigger, and I think for me it's probably a trigger from my past marriage. So I would say 80% would be secure, 20% would be anxious. So what is yours?
So when we talked about this, I think I probably am more on the anxious style.
Right.
And again, I had never heard of this.
Right.
But I think I'm more anxious, that I get nervous when somebody doesn't call me back, and not only from a love relationship, from just any relationship.
Right.
So I think it's anxious.
And it does go back to your childhood. It goes back, everything in life goes back to your childhood.
Yeah.
And it's like, it could have been that you had great parents, or it could have been you had challenging parents that didn't give you the attention. But whatever it was your cry for attention when you were young, and it feeds into your love style and your attachment style as you develop in life. Some people have it in all relationships, friendship, work,
Right.
love. Some people just have it in their love relationship. So it's really important, I think, to know your love language and to know your attachment style.
Right.
Because and you need to share that with your partner.
Right.
Because they can help you. And anxious does not work well with an anxious, because
Right.
if two people are super jealous of each other and two people are insecure, it's not going to work, because you're not going to trust each other. If you have a secure person that's with an anxious, then they almost
Complement each other.
Complement each
yeah.
other. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was so interesting.
Right.
Definitely something I want to do more research on is the attachment styles,
Right.
for
Love
sure.
it. And that was a great question. Who was our
Yeah, so that was Jessica Brown.
Jessica.
That was a very awesome
Jessica,
question.
that was an amazing question.
Yes.
Like an amazing question.
So I have one last question,
question,
for you,
right.
Miss Debra, from Ken Long. And it's, how did you know that your current relationship was going to be your last?
So I love my guys out there.
I know.
Ken Long.
Yeah, Ken
Hey,
Long.
Ken.
I know.
Thank you. That's a great question. Do we ever know? I mean, we go into any relationship when you get married. You think it's going to last forever. You go into a relationship, and it's been a year plus some months here, and you hope and pray that it's going to last forever. So I think for me, we both are invested. We're committed. We know that we hit the jackpot finding each other, because we have the 80-20 rule.
Yes, you did.
And we have so much fun with each other. And, we have we just have fun together, which I think is, 80% of the crapshoot, So, I mean, forever, you have to go day by day. And I feel like he's my forever person. But when you say that, you get these questions like, no one really knows that. You just have to play it day by day. I don't know if I'm going to live tomorrow. I mean, that's the one thing that you
Right.
don't know. No one knows what tomorrow is going to bring. So, do I have hope? Absolutely. Do I think he's the one? Absolutely. That's why I'm out of the game, However, that's like such an open-ended question, because, you really don't know. I mean, you really don't.
Right.
But I have high hopes for it. What do you think?
No, I think that's it. That's absolutely right. So how do you know it's your last? You can go into it feeling like this is my last, but like you said, you never know what tomorrow brings. And so I think that, but having every day knowing that, hey, this feels good to me. I didn't settle for anything. This relationship makes me absolutely happy.
Right.
Like you said, you have fun together. This is my best friend.
Right.
And that's how I knew that was my last relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this
So-
is what I tell people. I'm like, well, you know what? I saved the best to last.
That's right. You save the
Because
best for last.
I saved the best for last, because I feel like it is my last relationship. So thank you so much. Those viewer questions were
I
amazing.
know. So amazing. I love them.
I'm going to give kudos to you. Shout out to you. You found the best guest, and I know you went through so many questions to find the best of the best questions. So
Thank you.
kudos to
And
you.
thank you to the viewers for
Yes.
turning them in and being so interested in all of this.
journey.
And I hate that the segment is ending,
know.
but
But
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I just want to say, follow your dreams. I love that you, my wonderful viewers, have been here with me every step of the way. And I want to be every step of the way with you. So if there's anything that we can do to make your path a little brighter, to make your journey a little easier, we're here for you. Thank you for making Back in the Game one of the most popular segments we've ever had. And thank you for believing in me and allowing me to get out of the game.